Welcome to the channel. I'm making smash burgers for the family this evening, but one of the sides is onion rings, and that's what we're going to be doing in this video today. So I haven't covered an onion rings recipe on the Malat YouTube cookery channel for well over 2 years, so I think it's worth an update. I'm going to be using my, what you could class as a signature batter, which I came up with quite a few years ago. Been using it obviously for a few years. It creates a really light, airy and crisp batter. Use it for fish, onion rings, quite a few other things as well. And the key to this particular batter is the addition of citric acid, which you can buy from any store that sells things like winemaking or beer making kits, and standard bicarbonate of soda, which you can buy from any supermarket. So the key to this is when the citric acid and bicarbonate of soda are mixed together, then added to water, it creates a lot of carbon dioxide, and that's where these air bubbles come from, and this really crisp, light batter. Absolutely amazing. It's the best batter that I've made. I have tried making batter using carbonated liquids like beer and spring water, sparkling spring water. The problem I find with that is that those liquids already contain the carbon dioxide. You then mix that with flour. You have to whisk it in order to get a really smooth, lump-free batter, and you're taking a lot of those carbon dioxide bubbles out. The key to this particular way of doing it is we add the water to the flour, we beat to a smooth batter, and only then do we add the citric acid, bicarbonate of soda into that mix, and that is the point at which the carbon dioxide is produced. So you're not beating any of that carbon dioxide out, and that's where this really crisp light batter comes from. The other thing we're going to use is just standard white onion. Really simple recipe. I normally put a ingredients list at the end of the video. This is no different. I'll always sort of carry on doing that. So let's have a look at what those ingredients are, what they actually look like. So the ingredients for today, I've got 100 grams of plain or all-purpose flour, 150 millilitres of ice cold water. So this has been in the freezer for about 45 minutes. Really crucial to get the water as cold as possible. A large white onion, which I'm going to peel and then cut into 1 centimetre slices, half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda and half a teaspoon of citric acid. So we've got our onion rings. I've only chosen the largest outer rings for this. The rest of the onion I'm going to be doing a onion gravy later in the week, so I've saved it for that. Put the flour in a bowl, and all we need to do now is just mix in our ice cold water, just a little bit at a time. And it's just important obviously that we get a lump free batter. Okay, so this is the kind of consistency you're looking for. Now it is quite a thick batter, but once we add the bicarbonate of soda and the citric acid to this, we're going to get a burst of carbon dioxide bubbles, so it is going to lighten quite significantly. So the next thing we need to do is to put the deep fat fryer on to 190 degrees centigrade. We don't add the bicarbonate of soda or citric acid until 1 minute before we are ready to dip the onion into the batter and then straight into the hot fat. So the deep fat fryer is just coming up to temperature now. And to add in our bicarbonate of soda and citric acid into the batter mix, and just mix that in nice and thoroughly. And then we want to wait about a minute, and we'll start to see a lot of bubbles coming to the surface of that batter. Right, so the batter's about ready. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, There's quite a significant amount of volume in that batter now. So we dip in our onion, shake off any excess, and these are going to cook for between 2 and 3 minutes on each side. So I find a fork is about the best thing to turn these guys over with. So there you go, onion rings with that citric acid and bicarbonate of soda batter, absolutely delicious. So a few things to point out that we need to remember. One is to get that water ice cold before we mix the flour with the water to create the batter. Second thing is, because we're using the citric acid and bicarbonate of soda and that ice cold water, there's no need to actually dip either the onion rings, or if you're doing fish, in flour first before it goes in the batter. We only do that really to adhere the batter to whatever we're cooking, but this method you don't need that. The batter stays quite firmly on whatever you're cooking. So with the onion rings, which can be quite difficult, it stays on the onion rings, and if it stays on onion rings, it will definitely stay on fish. So there's no need to drench it in flour first. I find that whenever that's done, you might have a really crisp batter, but it's a little bit stodgy underneath, so there's no need for that. Please subscribe to the channel, and as usual, if you've enjoyed this particular video, hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching.